Thank God we live in the future. Someone has to deepfake that. Put Judy Garland's face on Gene Kelly's face, and then put Gene Kelly's face on Judy Garland's face. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Shade, the movie review podcast where we shit on movies and talk about ridiculous stuff while lovely art is being drawn up at the top left hand in the middle of the corner by our lovely resident artist Derry. Yay! And I'm shitty critic Jamie. Woo! And there's Darren, researching man and man that shakes his hands like this. Welcome to a wonderful podcast. This week is episode 9. We've made it. We've made it to episode... No, we're nearly in double digits, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks very much for coming along with us. This week we're going to be looking at the movie Wizard of Oz. And it's my pick this week, which I'm very happy about. I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie, of why I personally have picked it and why I think it's a really good choice. And then we'll go around the room and have a little discussion and we'll get right into it. Before we start, remember to subscribe. We're going to be on YouTube. We'll have the full video up during the week, and then we'll have little snippets of it throughout the rest of the week. Do feel free to comment, subscribe, and watch, and even make suggestions for movies. Yeah, we want all of that good stuff. And we're on Twitch again every Sunday about 7 o'clock. Join us, have a few beers, and do a little bit of shit talking. Yeah. So let's get into it, as Philip DeFranco would say. Wizard of Oz, 1939. I really enjoyed this film, very much so. It's one of my favorites, actually, specifically because of the way the story takes you through, the cinematography, the sets, and the acting. I think we were just discussing before the podcast, just the variety of acting, and you have a very small cast that's just perfect. So a little bit about the film. Let's go to lovely IMDb for our lovely summary of the week. Dorothy Gale is swept away from a farm in Kansas to a magical land of Oz in a tornado and embarks on a quest with her new friends to see the wizard, who can help them return home to Kansas and help her friends as well.
One of the better descriptions. They've had 60 years to write that, so, you know.
Right? Yeah, I guess so. You know, see the wizard who can help her return home to Kansas and help her friends as well. Yeah, it's bland. I'm going to give that a 2 out of 5.
Oh, we started rating IMDb descriptions.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm rating IMDb's summaries of movies. So this week, let's start with a little bit of a chatter about Wizard of Oz. Very controversial movie, and we do like a little bit of controversy here. We've a few things, like people were burned badly in this movie. I think there was someone that got really bad skin disease after wearing the Tin Man makeup. Horrible stuff. But that's what you gotta go through in Hollywood to make a gem such as this.
Suffer for your art.
Real art. Fucking up people's actual lives from years and years to come.
Oh, fucking up their lives. Not just their moment in the spotlight, but their lives, yeah.
Thank you, Wizard of Oz. So, Darren, what did you think of The Wizard of Oz? You've seen it before. Everybody's seen it, right? Everybody's seen it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies that everyone has seen, man. I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen it. I enjoyed it. I knew I was going to enjoy it when you said it. I knew it's not one of those movies you're like, oh no, not The Wizard of Oz. I wouldn't sit down and watch it on a regular basis, but I mean, say Christmas and stuff. If I seen it there, I wouldn't and I was sitting down, I wouldn't be devastated if it was on. I actually enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it now again because, when you're looking for stuff, because it's worse. This podcast has messed me up because I can't just watch a movie anymore. I'm looking for things to say. But no, man, I enjoyed everything about it. I enjoyed the acting. The acting was amazing. Oh, it's such good. I keep saying this phrase, all Hollywood actors, but these guys are theater actors. These guys are like a proper dancer, singers, fucking amazing.
Stage actors, real stage actors, and I think this is like
really,
1939 when it's just like
yeah.
the overlap.
Yeah, but this why this movie's so good. When you see it on stage, you don't really see like obviously the sets and stuff. I mean, but like you don't really see the comparison of the acting because it is a stage movie. Like you know what I mean? It is
Has
what
this
they.
ever been? Maybe I'm asking a really stupid question. Has this ever been done on stage? I've seen Wicked.
Okay.
I've seen
Oh
Broadway
yeah,
or the
no,
West End.
yeah. This is done on stage. This is I don't know if it's running on Broadway. I don't know if it's, but I've seen I've seen about. Do you know what? I've seen more like school adaptations. Like, you know, but it's awesome and it's a great show. If you've never seen it, Jamie, I recommend either putting it on or casting music
Or
or
taking it off.
yeah. Well, no, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed every character, and I enjoyed the beautiful sets, the transitions. I enjoyed the music.
The music.
Yeah, the music
Oh, yes, the music.
beautiful. Like I wouldn't think of this as a musical, essentially. Like I wouldn't personally. I know there's a lot of
I
music in
wouldn't
it.
either.
No, I am, but I do like. There's no. I was looking the other day, and even what I love about it is even the background characters are fantastic. Like the costumes alone, everything in this movie is fucking amazing.
So much detail, yeah.
Like, yeah, but even for back then, like, like if that movie's like they try to do it now with obviously like the Oz the Great and Powerful and
They
all those
did.
adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, but like they don't do like the CGI kills it for me. And what kills me is it's the vision of it. Because if they did a movie like that now with all practical effects and all hand drawn sets, no one would watch it because they're like, no, it doesn't have that fucking charm.
No,
I need like Jude Garland.
Here's the thing. I think that if a film came out and did such a thing like that, the story would be abysmal and the characters would be bad. Like
Yeah,
they put so much they'd have historians probably coming in studying this, and they'd overdo that part. Like the artist. Yeah, I've never seen it, but all I know about it is there's a famous dog in it, and it's black and white. I don't know nothing about the story, and that's all they praised about this film. So if a film came out like this nowadays, its main attraction would be, wow, all the sets are hand painted, not like it's a fantastic film because of all of these things.
I think the closest you're going to get these days is a pure Disney production. I'm not talking like the Marvel or anything like that. I'm talking like actual Disney core production.
Animation, like.
Which is the closest that you get now to having that musical vaudeville sort of, you know, triple threat talent sort of thing that would have been from the stage actors back then.
So, Darren, did you
Go on, no, so go ahead. Go on.
No, what were you going to say, Darren?
No, because I just keep on talking, so just.
I'm going to cut you off.
Stop talking, right?
Yeah, I just mute. But yeah, okay. Darren.
I give you a chance to talk, Darren.
So, Darren, again, I always ask this every week because I don't have any, little kids of my own. Did anybody watch this with the kids? Has anybody's kids seen this?
I didn't this time, but I have watched it a couple of times with the kids. Yeah.
What was the kids' impression? Who are the kids down with this? Are down with this kind of thing? Do the kids even say down with this thing?
I mean, mine are young enough that they still like that whole, I'll say, Disney vibe of the musical and the color and all that still kind of appeals to them. My little girl mostly, obviously, because she's the kind of kid who's going to be in musicals when she grows up anyway. Drama. But yeah, no, they loved it and they think it's hilarious because I always call them munchkins as well. So
like, little people.
Okay. Look, I don't know. Darren pretty much said it all already. I think it's an iconic movie. I don't think there's anyone that can dislike this movie.
I don't know. They're out there.
Oh really? Yeah. There's. I don't know.
I bet people would have said that with one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's no one out there that could have possibly disliked that film.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. No. I just think it's easy to digest in that sense, but obviously it's a spectacle. It's the Technicolor and all that is just amazing. And
there's a bit very hard to not like it. I think like even if you like it, you'd find some aspects of it that you would like. I mean, you have to respect.
I'm going to challenge myself to have some dislikes in this film. Because there is some things that I don't like about this film. Okay.
I don't like how it was put together.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to separate the horrible treatment of all the actors and the sexual harassment and all of the horrible things. You guys have a better mind than that, and I can comment and laugh a little bit. But
Okay.
I'm talking about the film here. I'm talking about the content of the film.
Exactly.
And then I have a little bit of
separating the art from the artist, we'll say.
right, exactly. I have no problem with doing that. So let's get stuck in. So we open up with even better than their credit roll, a little paragraph about the story. So, well, I'll give it a read for those listening at home. For nearly 40 years, this story has given faithful service to the young. Right, they're capitalizing things all over the place willy-nilly in this. So, to the young in heart, and time has been perilous to put its kindly philosophy out of fashion. Jesus Christ, if 1939 things were out of fashion, what are they now? To those of you who have been faithful to it in return. And I think this movie was, 39 years afterwards, because it was written in 1900, the book, Wizard of Oz. By the way, we didn't mention that. If you didn't know, that's a book. And to the young in heart, we dedicate this picture. So that's basically old people. Yeah?
Yeah, but you know what I love about this movie? The fact that they have, it says it there at the end of it. This movie is not called a movie. It's what's called, what I love, it's called a picture. They don't make movies back then, they make pictures back then. I fucking love that so much.
The talkies. Continue. So we get a little bit of a credit roll, which is nice. And then it kind of sweeps in to Dorothy. We get our protagonist. Fantastic. All of what you're seeing there is basically a set, a road, and then a big wall that's been painted, and it looks fucking amazing. You know, I think that's back in the days version of CGI. It's like, we can't go out to a place in Kansas, so let's just paint a big wall. I imagine there's people back in that day going, they didn't even really go there, they just painted a wall. Oh god, I hate going to films when they just go paint walls like things.
But that wouldn't have been strange at all, because it would have been exactly like a stage set, so...
So true, so true. You wouldn't have had snobs back then. Not like nowadays. So Dorothy is running through the dusty roads of Kansas, where everything is kind of a sepia. It's a sepia tone a little bit, I think.
What?
So we'll go to the next slide. Next slide. Jerry doesn't like the way I say sepia.
This is like a 20-year-old argument at this point.
And now it's live. Hey Darren, split the difference. Is it sepia or sepia?
You probably didn't even know the word.
I'll give you a hint. You live there.
In the comments, in the chat.
In the comments! What are they going to do? Spell it the same way both times and go, wait, which one is it? Sepia or sepia?
What the fuck is... What? What?
Oh, right, yeah.
Sepia? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
So see the color of you know, it's kind of like an off amber. It's like an
okay, okay, I would just call that brown.
Well, there was no point in having that debate.
It's not like Detroit fucking. Let's just be honest. It's a brown. It's a fake orange, if anything.
It's a specific photography tone that's called sepia.
Yeah.
Right.
So
for class.
So apparently I don't even say it right, so I don't know. So the Dorothy runs to her aunt and uncle. And what? Aunt May. It's Aunt May. It's not Aunt May. Yeah. Who is it?
Is Aunt May or Annie M?
Annie M.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Spider-Man. Aunt May. Oh, it's X-Men. So Dorothy.
Those are live chickens in the thing, and she just grabs one like willy-nilly, and like nobody but she doesn't even look what she's grabbing. She just grabs it like and brings it fucking to him, and I'm like, you know, nowadays, like, if you even looked at an animal wrong in a movie, they'd be like sued for fucking days. Like,
yeah, you'd get their lawyers on. Did you manhandle my chicken?
You'd have pizza all over you.
Yeah, fucking hell. Like, I was like, the poor chick.
Well, I had to give my chickens away today. Sadly. Because I'm moving. But when I had my chickens, you get to handle them like that because they're like dinosaurs. They're dinosaurs. You see them walking and going after like bugs and stuff. They're dinosaurs. Little T-Rexes. They're cool. So we get an introduction to Eddie M and Uncle what's his name?
Uncle Henry.
Uncle Henry, who's like a smart ass that gets whipped around by his wife, basically.
Yeah.
You can see he's like a little troublemaker. So we then get an introduction to our three, I guess, main accompanying stars, co-stars. We got
brilliant actors. All three of them are amazing.
This might be a good point to start telling people who people are then. Judy Garland is Dorothy. Frank Morgan, who has yet to be introduced, is like everybody else in it. Like IMDb lists him as like 6 other people.
He's the Wizard of Oz.
He's the Wizard of Oz. Ray Bolger is Hunk, and that's the guy's name, the Scarecrow. There's Bert Lahr, L-A-H. Zeke, the Cowardly Lion, and then Jack Haley as Hickory, the Tin Man.
Jack Haley, I can't remember the guy's name who was actually originally in. That's what we were saying earlier. The guy who originally played the Tin Man in it. He got like, because he had an allergic reaction, but like it caused him to some serious health issues. Like, you know, he was in hospital and he was hospitalized for it. He actually has an allergic reaction to whatever they sprayed the tin costume with, because parts of it were actually tin. Because you know in the movie when he starts banging on the chest, and you hear the tin, that wasn't a sound effect added. That was the tin, because the body was full tin. But then they obviously, a man couldn't do it because he was hospitalized, and they got Jack Haley in. But this is what I call the world going perfect, because he was supposed to be the Tin Man.
Well, they did. I think they got perfect characters to represent the Tin Man and the Lion and the other guy, Scarecrow.
How dare you?
Forgetting Scarecrow. So basically, we get to a point where Dorothy has already, like, I think she's running and saying, "Oh, what's her name? Wants after the dog." That one on the grouchy one. What's her name?
Mrs. We got the name of it.
Gulch.
Mrs. Gouch, yeah. Gouch.
No, Gouch. Gulch. Gouch.
Sorry. Gouch sounds dirty. Mrs. Gouch, yeah. Margaret Hamilton played her.
And she got horribly burned as well. You got burned, bitch. She got really badly burned.
They've all had something happen to them in this movie. Like the Scarecrow, I won't stop him too much. The Scarecrow dislocated his knee. You know, when he's doing all the, the dancing with her, and when she meets him first. And I was like, even as a young lad watching that, I was like, he's really goofy and funny. But he actually dislocated his knee when he actually, I'll show you when we get to it. When he spins over, when she drops him down first, and he spins over, and he falls over. He actually dislocated his knee. But
that looked like a pretty sad fall as well.
But he did the whole lot of that dance with dislocated knee. Like, what? Like, I mean, come on now. What a fucking champ, like. Seriously. And the lion obviously had to wear a lion's dead carcass the whole movie. Jesus Christ.
That's his failure.
That's just legendary.
So Dorothy's after running away from Miss Gulch, and she's like, that Miss Gulch, she's trying to take Toto. So she starts wanting to, I don't know, balance on a load of pigs. And they really get freaked out when she falls in. It's like, oh my god, these pigs are going to eat you. I'm like, shit, are pigs meant to be that scary?
Yeah, but your man is brilliant. Your man that jumps in after. He nobody jumps in and he gets out and he's like sweating and holding on to his heart and he's like, for like 10 minutes he's swimming.
So she falls in and you kind of find out that he's cowardly and also brave, I guess. They all show a little bit of themselves at this point in the movie. They all give themselves a little bit of their character. He's the cowardly one. I think when Auntie M comes along, you see that the Scarecrow, I don't know, he says something that's, what is it? Nothing. I know this guy, the Tin Man, is like, when I'm going to be leading this town or whatever, I think he wants to be the governor. The Tin Man?
Yeah, no, Tin Man wants to be like, yeah. I can't remember the words. I can't remember the lines that he says. He wants to
Yeah.
be the mayor of this town.
And no, Auntie M is like, shut your face, eat a biscuit, get your work done. The place
Yeah.
is in a mess. She's whipping everybody. Like, you got a
You're
lot
taking
of
shit.
strong female characters in the
Oh,
past, don't you? Strong bitch. So yeah, like modern films, and you're bitching about Aunt May, Auntie M. I'm gonna keep on doing that, Aunt May. There's your strong female character. You're talking about Ripley
She
from
would have
Alien.
whooped your ass, absolutely.
Yeah, but there's like I don't understand when people say that. That's why I can draw on. You can bring any movie into conversation and tell them I can pick out a strong female character. I like, and not even like that's not even me taking the piss. That's me generally because that's when I hate when people say that. There's no strong female characters, and I was like they often talk about Star Wars. I won't go on another rant, but like when they talk about Star Wars, they're like, no strong female characters. I'm like, okay. Sorry, someone came in there. When they're on about like Princess Leia and stuff, and I'm like, no, there's other strong female characters in the movies. You don't need to pick the lead characters to have a strong female character.
Every time someone says that, it's like, we need more strong female characters. I always think of that Futurama episode, that single female lawyer. You know that episode? I just think they just want lots of single female lawyers. So, but that's it. These are strong characters. These are really well represented characters, and you literally get the feeling that they're not going to give lip back to this little old lady. She's the boss. So she tells him off, and Dorothy has a little bit of a biscuit. She's yummy biscuits. And then we get the first song.
Beautiful song.
The song.
I mean,
that's the song.
But as I said again, this is what I mean when I say it to you. I don't know if we had this conversation before the thing started, but this is like a perfectly staged. How can I say? It's perfectly staged song. You just see her walking. You can see her hitting her beats when she's supposed to be at certain parts, and she got poked in the eye by the straw.
Somewhere I wasn't looking.
But this is like when I was watching it again, and when she started singing, I was like, "Oh, here we go, over the summer, the fucking rainbow." And I actually found myself just drifting off listening to the song.
That's it. It stood up perfectly well, and you would think because it's what 60 years old, and it's been so everybody knows this song. Like,
no, it's more than 60 years old.
Yeah,
80 years old.
What?
80.
80. Sorry, my mom.
That's his fucking her voice, man. They don't have singers like her nowadays. Like, no matter who you are,
Judy Garland.
Like, I know you have Indina Menzel, whatever, from Elsa, but like, you don't have singers like Judy. Like, she was, as I keep saying, an old Hollywood singer, but it's that type of singer.
Even like Idina Menzel, her voice is still quite. There's a grittiness to her voice. Even it's a little bit sharp, whereas Judy had this like really rich. Like, you can't replicate her voice. It's just there's something. It's like fucking funny. It's gorgeous.
It's old school American Hollywood singer vaudeville. Like, you bring them out on the stage, that's their, like they're raising themselves up, diaphragm, speaking.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Singing in the Rain, that's the way they just speak. Speak from the bottom, enunciate. And that's where she came from.
Oh, what a movie!
That's one of my picks in the future. Not this one next, but sometime in the future, because that is a wonderful film. It's a Wonderful Life. Oh no, we did that already. Yeah, sorry. So we now get a lovely. Check it out on YouTube, people. Subscribe, get back and watch our fantastic It's a Wonderful Life. That was just before Christmas, I believe. So this is also a matte painting. When the sun shines through the sky when she's singing. I was about to say when she's singing in the rain. When she's singing Over the Rainbow. I would love that. That'd be great. Hey, oh God! Thank God we live in the future. Someone has to deep fake that. Put Judy Garland's face on Gene Kelly's face, and then put Gene Kelly's face on Judy Garland's face. And you could do something with the voices as well. Judy Garland be tap dancing. No? Nobody down for that? I'm down for
I
that.
was thinking more of like a mashup, but
Oh,
what I
yeah,
just-
well, I guess so. We could do a mashup.
Okay.
And then we get so recognizable. Everything in this, like, I think maybe not younger people, maybe people probably born in the 21st century, maybe not, but anybody
I
before
think
that.
anybody who's into musicals, like would know, like instantly. I know you're saying obviously not everyone knows, but I mean, man, no matter who you are, that's a fucking evil sound. That's not a nice fucking, it's they made like back then they made music to make you feel a certain way. Like that's for a villain. That's a villain soundtrack is what that is.
Hmm?
She knows.
they still do.
They don't do that.
No,
I feel
they don't.
nothing.
They used to do it. They don't do it like they used to. Come on now. Like they do. That's a fucking. And then,
I'm sorry, you're
Every-
doing a service to every score writer ever.
I don't think so.
Every song in this film is a recognizable song. Every single one. You now show me a film that has the exact same momentum and amazing recognizable films. You'll get one amazing big one, and the rest are crap.
For a start, it's a musical.
Yeah.
So again, I'd have to apply any Disney movie. Any Disney movie.
Even Disney movies. Frozen. You got a Let It Go, and that's it. That's all I know.
Frozen.
I'm a 31-year-old
Exactly.
man.
Then you don't know.
What do you mean I don't know?
Frozen movies are ridiculously catchy, so I will throw any Disney movie out at that notion of.
Yeah, but these are
music
good.
is not the same. Music stands up right now if you look in the right.
This is a whole other conversation. I get, Disney movies are like really fucking. They are catchy. They're so catchy, but they're wrote to be catchy. They're wrote for
Exactly.
people
So
who-
is this.
Yeah.
It's the same
They're wrote-
genre.
I just think.
I think they do a better job of it in this then.
Yeah.
Let It Go.
Disney movies have you seen?
I watch Disney movies. Everybody watches the whole Let It Go thing. I've heard over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That was a fucking phenomenon. That was like that movie. Oh look, we can go into that now if we want to. We just not talk about this movie.
No, but in comparison, like I'm just saying, I
Yeah.
think that has a lot more of a an oomph, like that's just a backing track, and then like I've talked about this in musicals before, where
That's
they set the
introduce the
musical
character.
up. They set the musical up with
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas. They set the musical up with these little past.
Bum, 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 bum.
Exactly. Nightmare Before
Yeah.
Christmas is to me, a recent film, and they, that's a kind of a modern film. That's fantastic. I'm talking about
It's
21st
Disney.
century. 21st
Disney.
century. And fuck Disney. Fuck Disney.
not
Because they're
Disney.
not
Nightmare
fair.
Before Christmas is Disney.
That's not fair,
You're
though.
proving
They're an
my
outlier.
argument here.
Any other musicals that have been made? What is there? Cats? The
That
Cats?
doesn't even count.
No,
Musicals,
no!
That wasn't Disney.
No, that
No.
wasn't Disney, was it?
Are you
It probably
talking like
was.
musicals? Wise, like no. Look, let's just leave it at this. This
Darren's ending the argument. That is final word.
But no, what I'm saying is this soundtrack, is basically a really, really good way of introducing the character. But before you even see this character, she's a fucking evil bitch. You know
I'll
what I
put
mean?
it to you this way: Have you ever seen who writes those songs? It's like a bunch of like sleeved guys in an office with a big whiteboard, like the way they did for Mary Poppins. It's just like a load of white guys in an office in some Disney fucking office somewhere, just going, okay, come on, what sounds good? And they rap, they go, okay, write that down, diddle-diddle-diddle, and then we'll put that in, and then repeat it. Like, that's all it is. It's 100% corporatism.
Yeah.
But this doesn't feel like it. Like, Mary Poppins was like 100% corporatism. That doesn't feel
I'm sorry, you're
like
biased.
it. Feed the birds. Feed. That's. Oh, you're like, oh, it's so sad, and they hate the rich, but it's done by the Disney Corporation, who are a bunch of rich people. That's what I'm saying. Like, we know that it's, these songs were done in an age when maybe everything was a little bit more nostalgic, I guess, but it has that
What's
little
he-
burning. What? What's he doing?
What's he-
We're on the bit.
Okay.
So, we're skipping over that topic. Let's go to the next topic of man with brush in hand.
Yeah, she's trying to get the dog and put it
No,
down.
she goes.
For like,
she goes. What does she say? I wish I had it written down now. Actually, where she goes. She's trying to tell him that the dog bit her, and he takes it up as like, "What? The man bit you?" It's like, "Why didn't you tell the man?" It's like, "No, the dog bit me." I think it's like an Albert and Costello kind of thing. It's like, who's on first?
who's on second?
Who's on second? No. Who's on first? Howie's on
first?
second.
Who's on second?
So she's coming along to be a bad bitch and take the dog away. To do what? To bring him to the pound? Like she's a busybody.
Put him down. She wants to put the dog in a fucking basket. She was an original Karen, yeah. She was, yeah.
Oh my god, you're right.
But to put the dog in a fucking basket, I was like, that fucking poor dog.
It's an acting dog. It's a stage dog. It's okay.
Yeah, I know, but still, fucking poor dog.
It's not a real dog.
It's not a real dog. It's the fake actor dog.
He doesn't have feelings.
No, he just has paychecks. Cold, hard bitches sitting around him. Dorothy brings in the dog, and Auntie M is going. Okay, everybody, shut the fuck up. Okay, just tell me the story. I got like 20 chickens out there and 3 men that are eating all my cookies. What the shit's happening? And she's like, I've got a court order from the sheriff, and he's going to take your dog away. I love the way she speaks. She just sounds like a complete asshat. And I've gone down to the sheriff, and I've got an order to take him away. And it's like, she lives alone. You know, that kind of woman that sits like on the hill.
Yeah. Just a bitch.
And then we get to the dog scene where she puts him in the basket. And Dorothy runs away, and she's awful sad. And Auntie M turns around and goes, "If I wasn't a Christian woman, I'd tell you exactly what I thought about you." I think that's the best. Like, there's so many cool little funny bits in this film. Like the next bit where she turns around, sits down, and she's like giving that look at Uncle Henry. Henry. And then we get the next. Any comments?
No, I just think she's a total bitch.
We're just going with that. She's just a total bitch.
She's a total bitch.
What a bitch. So
we're giving her not as much leeway as we gave Nurse Ratched.
No.
We like Ratched more than we like the Wicked Witch of the West.
I'd go for a drink with Ratched. Fuck her. If I wasn't such a Christian man, I'd tell her what to do.
Even the witch is justified. This one is a fucking cow. Like, even the evil fictional version of this woman is actually fine because she's born evil, I assume. Like, she's a witch.
And somebody just killed her sister. Like.
Yeah, you landed a house on my sister. Bitch. But no, a dog nibbled at me because I was looking at him sideways. So the dog finally managed. I keep saying the dog, Toto.
Yeah, but your man, the scarecrow, says to her, why don't you just not go that way? And you don't have any problems. Like, don't fucking pass her house, you dickhead.
That's basically it. And she's like, no, I'm being a stubborn bitch. I want to do it. That'll take me at least 5 minutes longer. What do I look like?
How dare you?
Toto wishes the rains down in Africa and then finally gets back to Dorothy real quick. And then Dorothy's like, okay, now to escape to somewhere where I'll probably only be able to eat what? Like, she packs like probably an apple and a sandwich and maybe a bottle of milk. She's not getting far with that.
No.
You know, no, she'll die.
She doesn't know that.
Milk was
she'll
a
die out
bad
there.
choice.
Right. Hey, that was an Anchorman reference. Milk was a bad choice. So we get to this little scene, and I like this. This again reminds me of like a little stage. You know, they've obviously like this is all inside. They've gotten like big diggers full of dirt, and they've emptied it on like a concrete floor, and they've somehow managed to make it look amazing, like an outside. I always thought that with the lighting and everything, crazy. This is where we're getting up to Oz. How are we in the film so far?
Good, man. As I said, like everything to me was an amazing because this time I'm watching it as like a kind of a critic, not just to watch it, but I was looking for stuff, and like you just said, the stuff they've even the lighting on certain things, like you see we have here now, and you have where she's going to she doesn't realise, but she's getting to the wizards. So what's he called? He's called the Professor Marvel.
Professor Marvel, and this is like the snake, the snake oil man.
Yeah, but I mean, even the look of the sign and like where she's going and the roads and just what it does, it gives you a kind of like a certain feeling that you don't get from movies anymore. Like I mean, not that old fucking feel, but that really just like wanting to go on a journey. And thank God I can't imagine you've never seen this movie before. And obviously, if you've never seen it, you'd be like, unless I was doing something like this, I'd be like, no fucking way, I'm watching The Wizard of Oz. But I mean, this movie's like kind of like the Wonderful Life, Jimmy, where it takes you on a fucking journey, man. You know what I mean? Really, really, like this movie does. It does. Every movie takes you on a journey. Is fucking this movie to the land of
to the land of Oz. But that's what some of the great movies do, though. Really, they take you on that journey, and if it's even a very simple one where you're just like, okay, you go to this place, you meet 3 people, they want to go meet the thing that you want to meet. There's a bit of a kerfuffle. You do it, and you're home. That's basically it.
But even the actor, like I love the fact that he's trying to like fucking con her out of money, and then he like sends her home. And
see, I think he's like the not anti-hero. I think he's like chaotic good. You know, that kind of a way.
Do you not think he's a con man? No.
I think he is a con man to other people, but I think not to her, because we see later that he kind of sees that she's lost and she's run away, and he's trying to like use his scamming for the moral good, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like he does he puts on the whole hat thing, and he goes, I've been to the sands of Egypt, and I've talked to the Mahasha Harrys of India and all this kind of stuff.
They did in the Oz, the Great and Powerful with James Franco. They really played up to he was a con man. Like really. Oh my God.
I think it tainted him a little bit in that, because then it just means that by the end of that movie, he still hasn't grown up, like developed as a character. Like he's like 60 years of age and he's still trying to con people.
But like this is he came across as more of like an opportunist.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a big fancy some con man, Derry.
No, I don't know, but like Jamie said, sort of a chaotic good, not really meaning to do harm.
Trying to get by.
Yeah. You've seen Wicked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen Wicked. I don't know, Jamie, if you've seen it either.
I went to see it in West End.
I saw it in Dublin.
Oh, well, awesome sauce. Then maybe both of you have a responsibility. So, who are? I know on Broadway, Kristen Chansworth played Glenda. She played the Good Witch of the whatever. But so her name is Indina whatever her name is. Played, that's the one. She played Elphaba. So
yes.
Is she the same witch that's in this movie?
Yes, it's like their backstory.
Right. Yeah. So then you look at the Oz, the Great and Powerful, and Mila Kunis played this character. Am I right?
No, Mila Kunis played the Wicked Witch, but the wonderful Great and Wizard of shitty CGI doesn't tie into Wicked at all. Wicked ends at the start of this film.
Right, because I was thinking that because when I watched the Oz, Great and Powerful, then when she became evil in that, I was like, on Wicked, she doesn't start out evil. She's
in a wheelchair, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm green now. People don't like me because I'm green."
It's about how she becomes wicked, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't see it, but I just wanted to find out what that whole thing was about.
So basically, it's like Clueless, but with Wizard of Oz. It's like Elphaba, like Glinda is like the popular, like popular, and the Wicked Witch of the West or West.
Yeah.
Yeah, West is like in a wheelchair and not popular because she's in a wheelchair. I don't know why that's okay, but whatever. She's not popular because and she's green. So I don't know. That would make me popular.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
maybe not
just
during a pandemic.
Yeah, for myself, I want to kind of clarify because I was watching this and like, right, it don't add up who's who. I understand who Glenda is. I understand that. I don't understand
Glenda sound makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, you want me to Glinda.
I got it. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, go on, Jamie. So you're saying your man is now trying to con her, not con her, whatever.
Well, because like at this point, he basically goes and says, "Close your eyes, darling. Close your eyes. Okay, and think about this and this and this, and I'm just preparing my potions." And he's looking in her basket and sees a picture of Auntie M, and he's like, "Okay, she's clearly running away. I sense you're far from home." And he starts looking into his crystal ball, and I love it. It's like there's a woman. She's standing by a porch, and she's clutching her heart. And it's like, oh my god, she's having a heart attack. Someone call the police. So
I love Judy Garland's reactions in this. I just think it's so pure and so like that old Hollywood style of acting as well, of just like big doe-eyed sort of.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. There's something about her expressions in this scene.
The what? I did not kill my aunt.
That's not fair.
Hey, I stopped it on that.
Did we lose Darren?
No, Darren is still there.
Oh, sorry.
No, he's still there. He's gobsmacked.
No.
He's like, wow, I've never seen Judy in such a light before.
No.
Sorry, I can't see you on my screen. That's all.
No, sorry, no, I'm here. I'm watching. I just she got those big eyes. She got those big anime eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, she got
actually, sorry, those big Adderall eyes, really, realistically.
just
oh
pupil.
My God.
All the pupil.
Let's go there. But even her reaction, is spot on. So the fact that she is able to cry on cue, there was never needed. That was one good thing about Judy Garland when she was cast. A small reason, because she was able to cry on cue.
That's because the director is behind the camera with a chain. Come on, Judy, you can cry for the director, can't you?
Yeah, but I have something to say about her acting later on when she gets to meet the line and stuff. I'll go through that when we get there. But there's loads more topic.
You want to be an actor, don't you, Judy? I bet that. Hey, there you go. I bet that started like that. You want to be famous, don't you, Judy?
You want to be famous, kid. You want to be famous.
Hi. Yeah, all the execs went around like this. Ha, cha.
Well, I can't think about Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse unless I ever think about Family Guy episode. He's like, where he's drawn Minnie Mouse. She's like,
yeah.
Like, you want to be famous, don't you?
You want to be famous, don't you? Oh. Yeah, I love that. So he goes, go back to your aunt. She's dying of a heart attack that you gave her. So, there's a window blowing, and then he gives it he calls his horse a name, which I forget as well.
Yeah. I can't. I really don't know.
Come on, horsey, giddy up. There's a storm a blowing. So, and there is a storm a blowing. A fucking awesome looking hurricane. If I do say so myself. Do you? There's a twister. Do you know how they did this?
Great effect. Vaguely, it was like tights or stocking.
Yes. Right, and it's stuck down, and all they do is like blow a kind of a suction thing, and the way it twists and everything. And when I seen this, I was like, wow! And then I actually saw in real life on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, no way.
A twister that looked exactly like that, with the whirling thing.
You saw like how they did it. Okay.
No, that's why I said in real life on the Discovery Channel. It was in real life, but I wasn't there. Or that film, with the big twister in it.
Twister, the movie called Twister.
No, 2012, when the world ended. That one. Twister.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, you know what? this is probably too late for that film, but I'd love to go around and rent that video, and then just replace it with like an hour and a half of just you playing the game Twister.
Fuck's sake.
Left leg green, and it's like
The fact that you use the words rent and video in the same sentence.
Love it. I love it. That's
when
a
you go down to
movie.
the local video shop
Yeah,
Your local
Extravision.
video-
Yeah, right down the road to Extravision.
and have
Your local-
20 woodbines.
local-
Oh, for the Americans, that's
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
They wouldn't give me a rental because I owed money on my card.
You showed them, buddy. You lasted them out.
I ain't paying anybody any money.
I love if you went over to one of the the kiosks that they have, and you go to try and rent a movie, and it's like, we remember. It just won't let you. Damn. So yeah, the Twister effect is fucking awesome in this. I really like it. But that just tells you like ingenuity.
They had massive wind machines blown like as she was walking, and they had to because the dog couldn't, with the force that was blown. You could see it when you're watching the movie. Judy Garland, the dog actually couldn't go. So you see her throw, the dog was not nearly on two legs, just getting blown back. So she actually threw her basket and grabbed the dog up. She had to bring the dog with her because he wasn't able to walk, and they were blown like.
This was probably at a time when they were like, just put some weights on the dog. Just keep weighing the dog down. He's not moving anymore, boss. Okay, take one weight off. So yeah, we get to see all the chickens, and then they have full horses on a set.
Yeah.
Remember, this is inside, and there's bolting horses fucking just flying out of this barn. Health and safety gone mad. I mean, the opposite way. None at all.
Mad, gone health and safety.
Mad. And so we get Auntie M going, Dorothy! And I've always thought that the way she sounded here was really strange.
Why does she sing? She doesn't shout for her? She sings it.
Dorothy! This is my hurricane voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that Auntie M's hurricane voice or Twister? What's the difference between a Twister and a hurricane?
A Twister twists and a hurricane is just wind.
There you go.
Sounds like no difference between a politician to me.
Hello.
No? Hi-oh! So, they all go down into the bunker, and they don't give a shit about Dorothy. They're like, look, she fucking made her choices. She
Your
made
man
her
just says,
choices.
we can't look for her now. We're not going to be able to look for her in this Twister. Let's just let's just leave her out here, no matter where she is.
Come on, the orgy's happening. Come on, Annie M. I'll be the Tin Man. So she gets.
What have I told you about watching the Pornhub versions of these movies?
I'm sorry. Imagine, and it just all the screenshots just turn to bound to go wow.
The Wizard of Cock.
The Wizard of Cocks and then it's a Z at the end because it's made in the early 2000s, and it's and everybody has bleached hair tips. You know, one of those.
Moving on.
So this is the Twister effect I was talking about with the sock, with the. This is where you're talking about when they basically have wind machines and things are genuinely blowing at her. I think there's fences flowing past. And it's she's gonna get knocked out.
She does. She gets hit by Brant because the lads. This is how strong the wind machines were. The lads were throwing debris into the air and it blew it at her.
They're just throwing cigarette butts, standing at the side of it, just coffee cups.
They weren't throwing they weren't throwing bits of paper. They were throwing full branches in the air.
Just running out of the set, getting a branch, just throw at it.
One fella, she had to do this 4 or 5 times. She had an awful time on this fucking set. One fella threw a bucket, a metal bucket, and it hit her so hard.
Throw one of the horses.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, boy. Fucking brutal.
I just had a full camera, a director's chair. That's a bit odd.
See what happens. Dodge this. If you can dodge a wrench, you can
So she gets blown back into the house effectively. Oh, I better get next to this huge window, right next to my in the bedroom, and not close it. I'll be fine. Oh, I'm knocked out. Sorry.
And she did get hit. She got hit with this. These are obviously wires. The windows are on wires. They got pulled up, but she got fucking boxed in the back of the head with it, like. But now
Okay, Judy, we gotta make this look real.
I don't know if there's any injuries up, but she did get slapped in the back of the head with it, like.
Oh yeah,
the doctor said it had to make contact with her. I'm like, holy shit, like, Jesus.
Couldn't we just use styrofoam? Nah, it hasn't been invented yet. Okay. So she, this is the part where you see all the things flying past the window.
This is the very blurry line where is it real or is it she just knocked out? Or
so
did she get ruined?
This part, if you're watching the picture, you know when she starts to phase in and out, when it starts to do double vision. Woo. That's so. I think in the book it's more heavily implied that it was real, whereas in this, it's more heavily implied that it was a dream.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe.
I would have thought it was a dream. That would have been
I think the ending of this seems to put more emphasis on, maybe it was real, but I think going into it, you just assume it's a dream.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never would have thought that. And then obviously when I watched her Return to Oz and she's in a mental institution and she's escaping, I'm like, is there something?
Because she won't stop talking. She's like, and the line, it's like, Dorothy, that happened a year ago. It's like, you need to stop talking about this thing.
But now you look like 4 years younger than you did back then.
Auntie M is such a bitch. Like, she's like, okay, I'm just sick of her now. I'm like taking her to an insane asylum. They'll bring her, and then like Jack Nicholson sitting there going, "Hey, Chief." What a great movie! We should have done the outro to that movie, yeah. So we get a chicken coop that's fully intact for some reason, perfectly fine.
Out of nowhere.
A giant old woman in a massive chair. They got the ratio off on that one. And then two men in a boat.
Or did they, Jamie? Or did they? Maybe the house got really small.
Oh my god. It was all a dream. Really small.
Really small Alice in Wonderland dream.
It was like a nap.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then two men in a boat. And then we get
I don't get. They're not even the lads. I thought they were like supposed to be the lads. Maybe they're like the two lads, but they're not. They're just random fucking guys who are in a boat. Like, I was like, what's happening right now? Like, whose decision was that to make? Like, what the fuck are these guys? And then
it's like, I believe the chickens, okay? I believe the giant old woman in the rocking chair is still sewing. Two lads in a boat. Nah. Lost it. Had to turn it off.
There's a movie I watched years ago called Freaked. Did you ever see Freaked? No.
I've never seen it, but your man from Wayne or Bill and Ted is in it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, like they're trying to escape this, like monster or farm thing, and they're all dressed as milkmen. And there's like 12 milkmen, and your man looks back and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" He says, 11 milkmen, I believe. 12 milkmen, get the hell out of here.
I think it's like what Randy Quaid is in it, isn't he?
Yeah, I have to say it's the most, one of those movies that you seen years ago, but you're like, was it real? Did I really see that movie?
Yeah.
It's actually fucking brilliant. I have to say,
it's like Dr. Moreau, where he tries to start turning people into freaks, basically, isn't it?
Randy Quaid is like the fucking real weird doctor. Your man goes, they go to watch the show, the freak show, and all of a sudden they get like drugged and they get dragged in, they get turned into freaks. Your man is like turned into a big worm, and he keeps saying, no matter what, like through the whole movie, your man keeps saying, "Scratch my ass."
Okay, we have to watch that next.
Do you really want me to scratch your ass? And he says, I'd sell my own soul to scratch my own ass. It's fucking brilliant. You have to take a look at it. It's brilliant.
I like a little bit of Randy Quaid. He's a bit
This
nuts.
is what you get with this podcast. You get other movies entwined with the Wizard of Oz. Let's do this shit.
Who even knew that Freaked could be interwoven with Wizard of Oz? we get a cool little transition over from your one being on the bike to the one being on the broomstick. Again, I like these kind of like little film effects, special effects.
Back then, man, that's like, clearly you can see it, like, you know, how it transitioned. But it's really, like, for back then, it was fucking really good effects.
Very good, very good. I really like how it's done. We then get an outside shot of the house in the Twister. And now the Twister, for some reason, has brought us to a completely different place. And I love the way that the whole entire house drops and goes, and then everything just stops silent. Great. Now, this is the scene that's really cool. There's two people here.